All right. Hi guys, it's Lily. I'm giving you this tutorial now, and it's going to tell you how to set up all of your basic files so that you have your correct workspace, and you also will have a great template file to work from, and we'll set that up so that it automatically will open when you create a new document, and then it won't be just creating documents willy-nilly when you start. The first thing you'll want to do is hop up onto Blackboard. I know it's annoying. Life is hard. We do what we can. And when you're in this course, it should look very similar to this. This is my view, so it's slightly different. You should be able to scroll down to course content. We're in module 1. You won't be able to see all of the rest of these. This is it, baby. Okay, so we're in module 1. I want you to start by downloading these two workspaces. So one of them is a workspace, one of them is a template. So you'll be able to click on those two things, download them. It'll be great, awesome, wonderful. There goes 1 and 2. So those two files are now in my downloads folder. I want to have you guys do a little file management exercise. This is going to help you in general. It's going to help you in this class to keep track of where all of your stuff is. So let's start by creating a folder on the desktop. You would want to put this on a flash drive maybe so that your files are portable and you have control of them. But let's do this for now. Drafting. Maybe I'll call this TH3330. Bartenstein drafting. So I've created a folder for my stuff that relates to this class. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to create a new folder. Inside of that folder, we're going to call this templates. This is how we're going to keep track of each individual assignment, as well as our template files. So let's grab those two template files from downloads. Downloads, right? I'm going to just open this up in Finder. There's all kinds of nonsense in my downloads right now. Let's skip ahead. Open that up in Finder. I want to just find those two files. The way that I have them come up right at the top is by selecting date modified, sorting by that, so that the last two things I've downloaded are going to be the top two things on my list. So pop those up into that templates folder. So now I have those two templates available to me right here in my templates folder on my desktop. I know where they are. That's step 1. Now I'm going to open Vectorworks. I'm using Vectorworks 2019. I don't know if that's what we have on our computers. Fingers crossed. I hope it is. It would be better for all of us if it was. So we're going to open up Vectorworks. Oh, Vectorworks. Where you at, babe? Vectorworks 2019. Here it comes. It's going to take a second to load. I'm going to go check on my lunch. 1 second while that loads. Okay, still loading? Yeah, for sure. Computers. This is my real life, and now it's yours. Vectorworks software is available to you. You may download your own copy of it, and we'll walk through that in class. I'll put the link up, and we'll make sure you know how to get where you're going. Okay, so mine is going to do something slightly different than what yours does. It's going to open up, but it's not going to have any file open. I'm going to show you how to set that preference because it's better for everyone. That way you'll know you're opening the correct file when you get there. See, it opens up to nothing. This is what you want. Yours is not going to do this. The other thing that's true is it's not going to look exactly like this. So when you open it up, it's probably going to look something like, let's do like designer, right, or fundamentals. So your windows are going to be in different places. Your resource manager is going to work a little differently, right? You got your attributes. You got some of that stuff is the same. Some of it's different. What's up here in your menus will be slightly different. So the first thing we're going to do is set up the workspace. So you'll go to Tools, all the way down at the bottom, Workspaces. Then you want to go here where it says Workspaces, right? Because you won't have these two that I've created just for this class and my other class that I'm teaching. So Workspaces right here. Okay, you're going to need to go to something like the fundamentals one and reveal it in Finder. Strange but true. So here are a bunch of different workspaces that are available to you in Finder. If you go here, right, you got all of that stuff, workspaces, right? Those are the basic workspaces that come with your software. We're going to add to this list of workspaces, we're going to add the workspace that I created just for you. So that one, we go back out into Finder. Let's open up a new Finder window, separate Finder window, to my desktop, to my files that I have. Where's this class that we're teaching? This one, right? Templates. So one of them is going to be this CPP workspace. I'm going to just drag that in there. Okay. So now that's in the workspaces options. Okay. It should mean, so it should be in that application folder, right? So done. Let's switch the workspace. Workspaces. Done. We're going to shut down and open it again and see if that takes. And if not, we'll get at it another way. We'll put it in the user folder instead. So now I'm loading it up again. It's going to take another minute. Stop it away. Okay, loading. Okay, let's see where we are. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and duplicate that one. Okay, so that's in the user folder. We're gonna reveal the user folder in Finder now, which is a little different. If I take this out of here, let's see what happens. Done. Tools. Workspaces. Okay, so now it's popped up in that application folder. Great. So that means we have it. Okay, so it's in there. We're going to click on it. We're going to double click on it until we get that checkbox. That's the workspace we want. Clicking done. So what that's going to do is organize all of the tools in the same way that mine are organized, and that will help us because then when you're following along what I'm doing, stuff will be in basically the same place. Okay? So that's step one. We've got that. Now I want to set up this new template file that I've created just for you. Yay, you're welcome. So we're going to come back out to the desktop. We're going to go into this drafting folder, templates. We're going to grab the CPP template, Spring 2020, open that. Okay. The next step, and this is very important, right, is I'm going to take you back out to the scenery layer because that's where I would want you to be. So did you see I just went over here? I was in sheet layers. I want to be in design layers, which looks like a stack of paper. And I double clicked on the scenery layer to make that active. It makes it look like a blank screen. And this is where we want to begin when we are opening up our file for the first time. So now I want to go over here in File and Save as Template. Okay, what that's going to do right there is save the current document as a template. If it's saved with the name default.sta in the templates folder, whenever Vectorworks start, it will create a new document using that file as a template. You can do this if you want to. I don't because I use a bunch of different templates for different purposes. So I'm just going to save it as a template. It's going to go put it where you want it, okay? We're going to save it not as default, but as, let's call it the CPP template file, right? CPP template, because it's yours for your class. Great. All right. So now it has turned into Untitled 1 because it's used as a template, okay? We're going to close that because we don't actually need this drawing file just yet. Let's come over here and create a new file. So now you have two options, right? It's going to start by like create a blank document, which is to choose to create an empty document. That's not what you want to do. You want to use a document template, and you want to hop in here and locate that template that we just created, the CPP template, Polypomona template. Click OK. So next time you open a blank document, it will default to that setting as your new file option. So that's how you get to a template. I also want to set up the preference so that it doesn't automatically open a new document when you open Vectorworks, because that is just going to annoy you and create a bunch of useless files that don't have all of these nice layers and business that I've set up for you. And then you'll be in trouble later when you go to plate things because you won't have the right file. So we're going to come over here and we're going to go to Vectorworks Preferences. And Session is one that is our friend, okay? So if you look at this session stuff, there's a checkbox here. It'll probably be checked on your Vectorworks file, on your Vectorworks preferences. You want to uncheck that. You do not need a new document every time you start up the software, okay? You're often going to be opening a document that exists, or you're going to want to create a document from a template instead of creating a new document every time you open the program. So that'll save you some pain later in life. Other things that you can do if you want, you can change your maximum number of undos. If you're real paranoid, you can make that a higher number, right? So that you know you're covered. You can also go into the autosave and you can set it up, right? To autosave your file. You can do it however many minutes if you want, right? You can also do number of operations. So if you find like, and that's a way that I'll often set it up is like, I'll just be like, instead of autosaving every 15 minutes, what if I autosave every 20 operations or something like that, so that I know I have a backup based on how much work I've accomplished. Like, because what if I take a phone call or wander away and then time passes, right? That's not useful if I'm also drafting super fast. I want to save more frequently. It's going to confirm before save. You don't have to tell it to do that. You can tell it not to do that if you get annoyed by the autosave window. You also will create a backup folder, or Vectorworks will create a backup folder for you in the same location as the original file. I usually let it do this. You don't have to. If you want to just create a folder inside your Vectorworks class folder for all of your backups, you totally can, and you can use this custom location to do that. And then you can also have it keep one or more than one of the most recent backups. I'm just keeping one right now. Let's change that to 2, just in case I need to go back a little deeper into the software. Everything else is completely up to you, how you set these things up. There will be some things that will be more helpful to you than others, and we may come back and look at some of these options later. This one can be really useful in your preferences. So do you want to change from top plan into a 3D view? Do you want to go into a wireframe projection or an OpenGL projection, right? Do you want to go from a orthogonal view, or do you want to use a perspective view when you go into a 3D image? And that's going to give you options that get you closer or farther from SketchUp. User folders, right? That's where all your preferences are. All of that kind of stuff is available to you. So we're going to just go with this for now. Okay. All right. Here we are now. You have your first file. Let's save it for your first project real quick. We can just hit save because it still has an untitled dealio. We're going to create a new folder. This is the logo project. Okay. We're going to name this file now logo project. Okay. I'm naming it using a convention of my last name and then the title of the project. If I'm going to submit different versions of it, I will then add the date in front of all of that so that it's always clear which document is first. So I'm going to put that in the logo project file, save that there. Okay, so now I'm ready to start in on our logo project, which is our first drafting exercise. So you've prepped everything. We'll go through this in class, but this is for you if you want to set it up at home and you don't remember all of the steps. Here it is. Great, I'll see you next class.